Okay, so this Aaron Judge fella, he's good.
We are killing baseball. Hello.
Shady's back.
Also, Conor McDavid does sound like he could be one of Donald Trump's lawyers, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, it's him or Pete Davidson. He went with both. I mean, it was a ballsy move.
I can't think about Hooch. I won't talk about Hooch.
Pups in the pod. Pups in the pod.
She wanted me bad.
No.
I can tell she wanted me.
What if Caitlyn Clark's hated by her own teammates?
Right, it's Jeopardy for the dumb.
God, poor Jordan Poole. They're bullying him.
And this is over the top, for God's sake.
It's
Beadle and Rosenberg. We do serious stuff.
We are highbrow, if nothing else. From Wondery, I'm Michelle Beadle.
And I'm the bespeckled. I'm not comfortable with that.
It's
Peter
weird.
Rosenberg. Yeah,
It's weird, but it's proper.
This is Over the Top.
Here's how the show works. The best stories of the week, sports, pop culture. We're going to face these guys off. We're going to crown one champ and answer a question. What is the undisputed, most important thing that's important on planet Earth this week? We're going to decide it the only way we know how, and that is to use Royal Rumble rules. Start with 2 stories, decide which one's more worthy to discuss, which one's got to go. After 90 seconds, a new story introduces itself, and we'll have to decide whether we want to, keep talking about our current story or switch over to the new one. Now, we don't know the order of the stories coming our way, but we do decide which ones get thrown over the top rope. Hey, tell what's first.
All right, first topics of the day. Let's get into it. The Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers are heading to the Stanley Cup Finals. The Oilers are looking to become the first Canadian team to win the Cup since 1993. And the Panthers are looking for redemption after losing to the Las Vegas Golden Knights 4-1 in the finals last year. Now, who are they up against? Justin Jefferson and the Vikings have reached an agreement on the latest whopping wide receiver contract in the NFL. Jefferson signed a 4-year, $140 million contract, includes $110 million guaranteed. This makes him not only the highest paid wide receiver, but the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Meanwhile, news of the deal had CeeDee Lamb trending as he's next in line for a payday. But remember, it's different because the Cowboys also have to pay Dak. Do we want to talk about the Stanley Cup Finals being set, Edmonton and Florida, or the ramification of Justin Jefferson's mega deal?
So I'm torn here because, you and I both do 3 hours of sports radio every single day. And when contract news breaks, it doesn't get any kind of emotional reaction out of me. It's like, cool, okay. Let me know when the next one is.
I know, but the problem is this. But what emotions do you have about Edmonton and Florida in the Stanley Cup Final?
The travel alone, Peter, is horrific. Edmonton down to Florida.
You know what? I think you made a decision for us. Who cares about the ramifications for CeeDee Lamb or Tyreek Hill? Yeah, we're not wide receivers. It makes no difference to us.
No. And also, we don't even know what CeeDee Lamb's going to get. We would just be speculating anyways. And who wants to hear any of that?
Especially after how many times we've said be speckled already. So over the top you go, Justin Jefferson. Let's try our best to break down a Conor McDavid, Edmonton Oiler, Florida Panther Stanley Cup Final. Obviously, you and I are a bit checked out after the Rangers were eliminated.
Yeah, I tried to do as many live game parlay or live game betting I could to try to get the team back up, but in the end it wasn't enough. And so we get a Florida Edmonton situation. I don't know. I think I can get myself excited for it. Want to know why? Because A, it is exciting. B, the Conor McDavid story. The biggest, easiest comparison that I've heard that made sense to me, and now it no longer can, would have been the Mike Trout situation. The best that no one ever sees. The best that never makes it to the big show. And now he has made it to the big show. And it's taken 9 seasons to get there. So
no way. It's been already 9 seasons?
9. That's what I said. I feel like it was only yesterday where I heard about this young pup named Conor McDavid coming on up. It's been 9 seasons. Me too. What the hell happened? I don't like it.
Wow.
I know.
That's really, honestly, I thought earlier today, it's probably been like 5 years for Conor McDavid. No. Wow. That's crazy. You know what? That is an interesting story. I mean, you could argue that he just had, by the way, his game-winning goal, which you could say was sort of his marquee moment 9 years in. And that may be the play that a lot of casuals are like seeing for the first time and being like, oh, wow, this Conor McDavid guy is like special. You're talking about an in the ilk of the all-time greats. So that is also Conor McDavid does sound like he could be one of Donald Trump's lawyers, doesn't he?
The Conor McDavid. He sounds like I always want to say Conor McGregor. Well, hold on, correction. I don't ever want to say Conor McGregor, but when my mouth starts to say Conor McDavid, it's like my Google brain starts to type out the other one. And I don't like that. No, we're not talking about Conor McGregor. But weirdly enough, we are talking about some contact sportage because as a result of Mike Tyson's medical emergency last week, the mega fight, the one between he and Jake Paul, it's off. According to Netflix, Tyson's health concern limited his ability to train fully for the next few weeks. Now, a new date has not been announced. It is expected to take place near the end of 2024. Jake Paul took to social media to propose a fight between him and who is this? KSI? Am I saying that wrong every time? It sounds stupid.
It's KSI.
His coach is saying he's over 200 pounds right now. Squeeze me. No weight excuses. We're going to run it for July 20th, and then you can have Paul Tyson in October or November. Well, unfortunately, KSI's got a fight scheduled already for August. But you know what? Just do both. I mean, just a quick turnaround. It's a big cash grab. How hard can it be? You're just going to get pummeled either way in the face and stuff. So this one's rigged. Anyways, do you want to continue talking about the hockey Stanley Cup final or switch to the news that had us all saying, oh?
I say we switch over to Tyson-Paul. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we did Conor McDavid justice, but I also think you and I are getting a little bit beyond our skis to pretend like we have that much in the tank for Oilers Panthers.
Also, you know what? We run the risk of being classified as a hockey podcast if we give too much of our expertise away on the sport.
Well, you know what happens if you talk too much hockey? All the hockey fans complain that you don't talk enough about hockey, or you're talking about hockey wrong. So,
wow, it sounds like a lot. It sounds like WNBA, horse racing, you name it.
So, yeah, and I'm sure we'll get to some of those things later in the show. So let's get the Stanley Cup over the top and talk about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, which I was very bummed out about to see that it's getting moved because I was excited for July 20th.
Same.
I do think it's going to be a true spectacle, just to say spec one more time on the show. But I mean, listen, this is not the first time that a hyped fight has been delayed because of a health thing. Of course, in Mike's case, it's an ulcer, and all it means is apparently he has to cut back his training a bit and get healthy. But the question for me is when it will happen, because now they're saying later this year.
Like November,
but no fight
December.
gets. It has to be, right? Because no fight gets delayed for like 6 weeks. It's too risky. So it's minimum 2 to 3 months.
Right.
So I'm randomly predicting with zero information, like the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Oh, you're going on the earlier side of the possibility. Okay.
I think you don't want to get into Christmas
Football?
time.
What about a New
you're
Year's
in football
Eve
either
fight?
way, but
Like a New Year's Eve spectacle.
what day, well, hold on. What day of the week does New Year's Eve fall on?
That's too much math.
Let me find out.
Do you have a calendar?
Hey Siri, what day is New Year's Eve 2024?
Who uses Siri?
New Year's Eve is on Tuesday, December 31st, 2024.
Not ideal.
I mean, listen, you could still do it on a Tuesday.
You could. We're all off.
'Cause, I mean,
Everybody, we're not, but most people are like on a holiday during that period.
Dude, think about the number you do, though. You would crush, all due respect to Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper. I mean, that number would crush. And I would be stoked because I hate going out on New Year's Eve. It's amateur night.
I don't. And so I will be home and I will want something to watch. So, and these fights always start late anyway. So why not? Let's give it a thought. All right.
We'll discuss it. Up next, Aaron Judge had a record-breaking month of May. The Yankee slugger hit 14 home runs, 12 doubles, and drove in 27 runs. Along the way, Judge hit 26 extra base hits, which broke the Yankees franchise record of 25, previously shared by two guys, you may have heard of them, Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. I think even though I love the Tyson-Paul fight and I'm into it, it got delayed. Over the top you go. We got to break down Aaron Judge's May, don't we?
Yeah, we do. But also the ulcer thing, that's crazy that they're that bad. Like I've learned a lot about ulcers in the last week or so. Did not know they could have this kind of an effect on a human being. So a lot of milk. I think you got to drink milk when you have ulcers, right? Mm-hmm. Go on.
Well, if I remember the movie Clockers, I believe Mekhi Phifer's character was always getting ulcers.
Yep. They're not fun, but man. Okay, so Aaron Judge, this Aaron Judge fella, he's good.
You know what? Hold on. You nailed it. I mean, you nailed it.
We're a baseball podcast now.
Are we? Hold on. Is that Tim Kirkshin?
Let me see who that is.
Is that Jeff Passan or Michelle Beadle? I'm confused.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I love doing this podcast with Kenny Mayne. This is just we are killing baseball. Hello.
We really are. No, look, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, look, records are just being squashed this past week, haven't they?
This man, let me tell you something. First of all, Juan Soto was the player of the week last week because that's how good Juan Soto was.
Bad.
Dude, it's a shame that McGuire and Canseco were the Bash brothers because I would still steal that. I would go Bash Brothers 24. This is, to have these two dudes doing what they're doing is so amazing. And here's the part that sucks if you're a Yankee fan. It doesn't matter unless they win the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's all, trust me, I hear from these fans every day. The only thing that matters, so don't get me wrong, the fun is building, but if it doesn't work out, it's just getting thrashed anyway. So
it's all for naught. Hold on. Were the Splash Brothers named Splash to rhyme with Bash because it was the same area of the country?
Yo.
Is that real? Is that why we have to rhyme it?
Did you just blow my mind?
Wait, is that why?
Hold on. Who can we call? I need to call someone from the Bay,
call
right
Steph Curry
now.
Call Klay Thompson right now. He might not even know his own origin story.
Hey, Siri, call Klay Thompson.
I don't see a Klay Thompson in your contacts.
Let me try again. Hold on. Hey, Siri, call Steph Curry.
Yeah, that'll work.
I don't see a Steph Curry in your contacts.
Siri's a dumb bitch.
Hey, Siri, call Draymond Green.
That's good here.
Calling Green Raymond.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Who's that?
Who's Green Raymond?
No, hang on. I don't know what to call. That's very strange.
I don't know.
Anyways, you just blew my friggin' mind, Beadle.
So then do we have to rhyme it with them if it's New York? Or can we come up with something totally different?
Smash Brothers.
Although that has another connotation. Oh, well, let's work on this.
All right, let's workshop it a bit and circle back around.
We're going to circle back around. Up next, Shady's back. This weekend, Eminem released Houdini, first single off his upcoming album, The Death of Slim Shady Coup de Grace. And the video is filled with a bunch of celeb cameos. You got your Snoop Dogg, you got your 50 Cent, your Dre, your Pete Davidson, your Shane Gillis. That had some people very happy. And more. Some fans also think that he disses Megan Thee Stallion with the line, "If I was to ask for Megan Thee Stallion if she would collab with me, would I really have a shot at a feat?" I say words sometimes. I don't know what I'm saying, Peter. Do we want to continue talking about that the Yankees are good or Eminem's back?
I love Eminem. Big Marshall Mathers fan.
Okay.
I am not generally a fan of Eminem first singles. They are real Slim Shady, Without Me, all the big up-tempo, over-the-top, Hi, My Name Is, all the big Eminem first singles that are overly pop are not for me.
Interesting.
So I'm kind of good. And I didn't care that Shane Gillis, one thing I never thought was can I get Shane Gillis in a rap video? I never had that thought ever.
Well, I mean, it's him or Pete Davidson. He went with both. I mean, it was a ballsy move.
The only choices you had. You knew you had to shoot. I would say toss Shady over the top and continue on with this greatness. But but honestly, I'm open to your thoughts.
I just don't know anybody uses the word feat, F-E-A-T, in normal everyday conversation. So that got
So you're calling nonsense on the the wordplay.
What a feat. I'm going to finish a big meal tonight, and I'm going to look at myself and I'm going to say, "You've accomplished a feat here, Michelle Beadle. You've accomplished a feat." That does sound
So
good.
you're going over the top also?
Yeah, over the top. I go to you for my rap music expertise. If you want anything on Def Leppard, I'm your girl.
Anyways, we're staying with Aaron Judge. Even if baseball is not your thing right now, I take a moment because these guys are friggin' awesome. It really is special to watch.
They're actually fun. They're the old Yankees where it's such stiff and business as usual and there's my attaché case. No, they don't feel like that. It's different.
That is probably the best way to look at this Yankee team. They have a little bit of character, and the Yankees are just generally so buttoned up, and this team is pretty fun. So enjoy yourself.
We might see facial hair in our lifetimes on the Yankees, Rosenberg.
I don't know. Now you're being crazy.
We might.
Facial hair on the Yankees. They're better than that. This is wild. Last week, the Bills signed former NCAA wrestling champion, Olympic gold medalist, and highly touted WWE trainee, Gable Steveson. as an undrafted free agent to try his hand at defensive tackle. Get this, with no football experience.
None?
Steveson said he's looking forward to the challenge of seeing how many wrestling skills may translate to football. Do you want to keep talking about the crash dash bruvs?
Crash.
Or move on to the Bills signing someone who's never played football?
Well, I kind of love this. Yeah, you know what, Yankees? We've got an entire season, a whole summer, if you will, to talk about you. So please, by all means, keep crushing. We will come up with a great nickname.
The Crush Brothers.
Crush Brubs.
The Crush Crew.
Crush Crew. That could be something.
Over the top you go.
We'll keep working on it. Okay,
yeah, we're gonna work on this.
No football experience, as in, has he ever picked up a football? Has he?
No, Beadle. He had never even heard of football. They had to explain. He was like, wait, how many downs? They had to. What is a down?
What's it called? Ball feet? I've never heard of such a thing. I mean, we've seen them do this. They brought a rugby dude over. We've seen wasn't there a lacrosse guy? I think from somewhere that came over. I mean,
both of those feel much closer than amateur wrestler
than not playing anything at all. Yeah, I would say yes. Look, I mean, it's his body. For my money, this should be being televised somehow. This should be Hard Knocks by itself. Just watching this guy out there doing whatever it is he's going to be doing, drills and, just learning an entire sport in a matter of weeks. This should be fine. It should be fine.
Do you know, but it's funny. So many football players have become pro wrestlers. This is the reverse, and I have no clue if this is possible.
You know what? I'm interested in it. I will keep up with it. When inevitably the ticker says former WWE guy has to pull out a football because it wasn't for him, it'll be sad, but it also could maybe be a Hollywood ending to a movie. And it turns out this was his calling and he just got a late start. How big is this dude? I'm assuming huge.
He's like 6'1" or 6'2", 275 or something. But I will say, I talked to him at WrestleMania and had a nice conversation with him. He doesn't come across as gigantic. I will say that. He considering he'll be blocked by Trent Williams, people of that size, he doesn't seem that huge to me.
No.
But who knows, man? He's a gold medalist. He's a stud athlete, so who knows?
So the mental's there. Let's see if the rest can do it. That's my assessment.
That's right.
We're halfway through the show right now.
You made that up, but I like it.
I totally did. The most important topic of the day. He reminds me of, he's the Northwest of the NFL, taking jobs from someone who's been training their entire lives. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Over the Top. I don't know why I got serious, Peter. What's our next challenger?
No, it's time to get serious.
You're
because up next, wait for it, buckle up. The NBA Finals are officially set. Sorry, over the top you go, Gable. Let's be honest. Gable Steveson was leading the way, but you're out of here, okay?
Yeah.
Because we got to talk NBA Finals. The storylines are fantastic. Kyrie's returned to Boston. Kristaps returned to Dallas. Will he even play? I think he will. Yes. Can Tatum and Brown finally lead the Celtics over the hump? How many Luka, Larry Bird comps will we have to sit through during this series?
Because they're white?
Beadle? Because of white.
Because they're white?
But listen, I'm very excited. I told you throughout this playoff, as a Celtics fan, each series you were kind of like, all right, does it really? You're kind of like the Yankees this year. It only matters if you can win a championship. Yep. And now we're here. So I'll say, I think this was the dream scenario for the playoffs. And I didn't even realize that when the playoffs started. But now
you mean the Mavs?
Yes.
Wow.
I now think when you look at it, short of it somehow being, the Lakers would have won, short of Lakers Celtics, which is always sexy. I think this is, Beadle, you can roll your eyes, but you know what I'm saying. It would have been Lakers Celtics
this is
with
much more fun. I'm more excited about this.
Lakers Celtics with 17 championships each.
Okay, can I? This is my pet
pretty
peeve.
Good.
This is my pet peeve, right?
Yeah.
There are 20-year-olds running around shouting crap out of their mouths about 17 championships. Bitch, you were not alive when these championships were being won. So let's stop acting like we're all history buffs about the NBA and that, I can't wait to see the continuance of this great rivalry. It's not that rivalry anymore. I don't even think these two teams care. Do they?
I don't know whether the individual players will care, but it's up. It may be the number one championship rivalry in sport. You don't care about Lakers Celtics? You think it's a meaningless rivalry?
I would much rather watch Luka and Kyrie in this particular series. Yeah, I think it's more exciting than AD and a LeBron.
From a player standpoint, okay, up next, real quick, Beadle, get through. We're not doing Pups in the Park over this.
So we're going to do Pups in the Park.
I'm sorry. You decide. Fine. Well, guess what? Then stop having ridiculous hot takes about basketball, and we could have done Pups in the Park. But there is your
Pups in the Park. Pups in the Park. She was asleep. Sorry.
Beadle just woke up her sweet senior dog to put her on camera.
Sorry.
But I'm sorry. Yes, I'm reading this. This is Beatles, but I'm taking it. The Dodgers held a promotion for Pups in the Park where fans bring their pets, and there were so many. It was amazing. It looked like literally thousands. My dog's biggest nightmare. My dog would have literally jumped off the upper deck if that had if he was there.
She would have growled at some. I'm just trying to figure out the bathroom situation, but I don't even care. If it wasn't such a pain in the ass to get to Chavez Ravine, I totally would have done that. But it's not worth the hassle.
But no, we're not going to talk about, unfortunately, Pups at the Park because Beadle wanted to drop her haymaker that no one cares about Lakers Celtics. Now, I think that's a ridiculous take, but I do respect your interest in seeing Kyrie and Luka versus the Celtics more because that is the point I was originally trying to get to. Even though at the beginning of the playoffs, I wouldn't have thought, oh my God, can you imagine Mavs-Celtics? But now that we're here, can we agree these are the two best talent twosomes in the game against each other, first of all?
I think as much as Anthony Edwards is a revelation and fun and entertaining, and we've got a lot of time with him in this league to enjoy what he does, I also think that the doggedness of Cat and Gobert would not have been dependable and would have been in a final situation where you're just like, basically what game 5 looked like, I would have been worried that would have been the entire series. Whereas in this particular situation, you've got Kyrie going back to Boston, older, wiser, more mature, content in life.
He really does seem content.
And a shit-talking Luka who is going to have the time of his life on the biggest stage. Yeah, you're right. At the beginning of the season, I would never in a gazillion years been like, I'm thinking Mavs-Celtics, but here we are, and I'm genuinely excited.
That's exactly my point. I had no idea that I would want this so much, but now that I'm here, give it all to me. And I hope that, here's my one hope. I get it. I'm not a Celtics fan from Boston. I'm definitely not that. But I am a Celtics fan. Please, Celtics fans, don't turn this into a full-on
They're going to
attacking Kyrie thing for two reasons. Number one, Boston, you know you can't help yourself, and it's going to end up going racial or bad somehow. Number two, do you really want to motivate Kyrie more? How about you welcome him back with a golf clap? Hey, welcome back, Kyrie. That's it. We don't need to motivate him more.
You can do the normal, like, boo upon introduction.
Yes.
And then we all go on.
I really, you know what? Maybe this is the time.
That ain't happening.
It's not happening.
No.
It's not happening.
No, it really isn't. It's going to be epic. But what if they get something to trigger in Kyrie?
I'm going to ask God for his prediction.
Yeah, good call.
God, any chance the Celtics fans keep it cool and don't OD?
You asked me, God, whether or not Celtics fans are going to be like over the top and maybe a little racist.
Hold on.
I made them that way. That's how they have to be.
I don't like this voice. I don't like it. Turn it off.
Scaring you?
Yeah, I don't like it. It's like a nightmare. It's nightmare fuel is what it is. It's going to be in my dreams tonight, and it isn't going to be pleasant.
Listen, I'm looking forward to seeing Portnoy front row, McLovin, Donnie Wahlberg, all the greats from Boston.
That's true. Donnie Wahlberg, he's the face. He's been the face. Yeah.
Well, that was interesting. Who would have thought we'd get God for the show?
We couldn't get Draymond, Clay, or Steph, but
no.
God. Well done.
No. Up next, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are back. Bad Boys 4. And as I'm recording this, they're scheduled to do my morning show tomorrow. Isn't that crazy?
Fun. Yay.
Pretty cool. Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die, their new movie drops tomorrow. And it's got me thinking about best buddy cop duos.
Oh, my.
Now,
I know mine.
Do you want to talk NBA Finals or best buddy cop duos?
I mean, look, we've got another week to talk about the finals because they don't even start till the end of this one. It's not like we don't have time. And I do love a good buddy cop film. I'm okay with moving on. I'm okay with it.
All right. I'll go with you.
We're going to talk about, by the way, don't think I didn't notice.
Stupid decision.
Okay, that is ridiculous. By the way, don't think we didn't notice that if you're not watching on the graphic, we have Jaylen Brown, not Jason Tatum, in our image. Foreshadowing.
All right, so let's rank them. Let's talk let's go for a Mount Rushmore. Do you think that 48 Hours belongs on the Mount Rush?
Yes, but this is going to get hard, isn't it? Because there's going to be like, okay, yes. So, yes.
Get Hard is not going to be on
Get Hard is not on there. Nope. Mm-mm.
All right. Okay, 48 Hours is. What else is on? Tango and Cash? No.
Well, Kurt Russell I love. And I do love some Sly Stallone, but not that one.
What about Rush Hour?
Yes.
The Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan vehicle. Do not sleep.
Don't even. Do you know how many times you laugh out loud when you watch that? By the way, there might be one of the few franchises where like a sequel's fine. Like they're good. They're funny. They're ridiculous. Because that was Chris Tucker being the best Chris Tucker.
Oh, the best Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Rush Hour. We have Bad Boys.
Yep.
We have 48 Hours. What's the other one? What am I forgetting?
Lethal Weapon.
Oh.
The OGs.
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah. That's pre-Cuckoo Mel. Can I do my honorable mentions?
I love Cuckoo Mel. Yes, go ahead.
Cuckoo Mel's, so what's the one with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg? The other guys?
Yes.
Kind of funny.
That's a fun movie.
That's a fun one.
movie.
It's Mark Wahlberg being refreshingly funny. And my all-time probably favorite, don't leave out the canines, Turner and
No.
Yes. What do you mean no?
No, it's
Why
too
not?
sad.
That's
I can't think about Hooch. I won't talk about Hooch. I don't want to know.
Can I give you a tip? This is a vet tip. Any movie with a dog in it that you're supposed to fall in love with, don't finish it. Just cut out with a good 20 to 25 minutes left.
Yep, and just go, wow, love that dog. So glad it spent the next 20 years just eating treats and basking in the sun.
It's what I do. And ask me about any dog movie. I have a different ending than you might.
What did you think of the end of Marley and Me?
Oh, I loved it. I just love seeing a family in love with their dog and everybody living happily ever after. It's my favorite. Anywho, but I do love a buddy cop. Okay. Up next, we very well may have witnessed the possible end this weekend. Oh no! For two combat sports legends. Deontay Wilder lost for the fourth time in 5 fights. Is that even possible? After a 5th round TKO by Zile Big Bang Zhang. He said before the fight about a possible loss, this could be the final goodbye, the farewell of Deontay Wilder. Meanwhile, at UFC 302, Islam Makhachev submitted Dustin Poirier, widely recognized as the greatest fighter to never hold an undisputed title. This was his 3rd title fight loss in 3 tries. That's not good math. Sparking rumors of retirement for DP. Do we want to continue talking about awesome buddy cop movies or the combat sports legend's demise?
No, let's listen, I'm psyched to see Bad Boys.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's toss them over the top though, and let's talk about the end of Deontay Wilder and Dustin Poirier maybe as well. And I know Beadle was excited because of all the love for Donald Trump when he showed up to UFC 302. Kidding me?
Dude, I high five felons everywhere I go. It's sort of my thing.
Well, me too, but only if they've been found guilty on minimum 30 counts.
30.
If 29 counts, I walk right past them.
Child's play, 29.
Give me 30 or more. Do you know, by the way, speaking of Donald Trump at sporting events or fights of sorts?
Yeah.
Do you know that myself and super producer Andrew Goldstein I was literally in the chair behind Donald Trump at WrestleMania 29?
How was that?
Well, keep in mind, WrestleMania 29 was 11 years ago.
Yeah, he was loved a little bit then.
It was certainly a different version. Like, I mean, I didn't have warm feelings, but I didn't have my current feelings. So we more marveled at his hair.
For sure.
I recently found my pictures. Andrew says he has a photo too. Andrew, is your photo just of his hair? Because mine are all of his hair.
That's really
because it was mind blowing. At that time, people weren't talking about his hair yet, but sitting right behind him, it was like I just couldn't get over it.
It's cotton candy. And by the way, I've had 2 interactions with the former convicted felon president.
Bitter Beadle. That's what I call her. She's bitter and alone.
They were both good interactions.
That's right.
I have to be honest.
She wanted me bad.
No.
I can tell she wanted me.
None of that happened. Nope.
Bad.
He was I don't know who this person is.
I turned her down. That's why she's bitter. Bitter to this day. Bitter Beadle because I turned her down. I was interested in someone else. Sage Steele. Sugar Sage Steele. That's what I call her. I like her so much better than Bitter Beadle.
That's fair. I respect that.
Anyways, Deontay Wilder had such a promising career. The Bronze Bomber, he was the man. And then once he took the losses to Tyson Fury, just never really recovered. And this one was just brutal. Not what you want. Up
Not how
next.
you want to go out, no.
Oh, I know we're going to have to go to this topic because it is the topic of the week. The much anticipated first WNBA matchup between Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese was marred by a cheap shot / body check, depending how you look at it, from Kennedy Carter on Clark. Initially called a foul in game. It was upgraded to a flagrant one after the game.
You think? And
then came all the takes. Angel Reese was seen applauding the foul. They seem to have like some sort of heat that's actually picking up, even though we denied it at first. Carter wouldn't answer any questions about Clark post-game before later posting, besides three-point shooting, what does she bring to the table, man? Draymond Green weighed in, tweeting, Indiana better go invest in an enforcer fast. Matt Barnes said, where the fuck are her teammates? Stephen A. came out on Monday and said, black WNBA players are jealous of Caitlyn Clark. Then he got roasted by my buddy Monica McNutt.
She rocks.
Then Pat McAfee decided to open his show with a 10-minute PowerPoint on why Caitlyn Clark is the only superstar in this year's WNBA rookie class, and punctuated his point by calling Clark a cash cow and the one white bitch who is a superstar.
That's
a lot was said. A lot was said about Caitlyn Clark. Sorry, Deontay. Sorry, DP. Over the top you go. Where do you want to start with this?
Where do we start with this? You know what my big takeaway was, Peter, from all of it? Of all the emotions that people are speculating or feelings that these women have towards her or don't have towards her, none of this surprises me. And I don't know if that's because I am a woman. I'm just like, yeah, of course we're going to hate her. A bunch of people are going to hate her. It's a resentment. I mean, there are people that have been in that league for quite some time that are basically being told, yeah, cute, everything you've done before this, adorbsies, but now it matters because Caitlyn Clark is here. And like, you can give as much validity or reality to all of that as you want, but there are women's egos involved here. And they're no different than any other professional athlete walking the planet. So I don't know why we're shocked. But the thing that stood out the most to me was none of her teammates like ran to get her up off the ground. The only teammate they came over just sort of meandered. I didn't see anybody else get in the face of Carter.
Is it possible they kind of missed it because it happened at such an odd time?
Maybe, or maybe they look. There could be 1,000 things, right? That's why this is it's a topic that will never die because we don't know Caitlyn Clark. What if Caitlyn Clark's hated by her own teammates? Maybe she's not nice. I don't know anything. None of us do. But what I do know, if I'm Caitlyn Clark, I don't need a bunch of dudes swooping in, trying to defend my honor and white knighting their ways into this. I'm a basketball player. I grew up with brothers. I'm a tough broad. I don't need this. And don't use the word bullying either, people. They're professional athletes playing a sport. Bullying is what kids do to each other on a school bus. Stop. Just stop.
I don't make a big deal about this entire thing so far.
Right.
If in 30 years, let me put it this way. In 30 years, if there's a biopic about Caitlyn Clark, which at this rate, there probably will be, wouldn't you almost like expect that the part when she gets to the league involves her getting a really hard time from the players that were like, isn't that built into the sports story that this new person who shows up to a league that had, I'm not going to say the WNBA was fledgling, but it certainly hasn't been making a ton of money, and men have not been paying attention to it, and frankly, women haven't altogether been paying attention to it. And now you have this star who comes along who also happens to be a white straight woman when most of the league does not look like her demographically. Everything is there for this story to involve a little bit of bitterness, whether it's subjects we want to talk about or maybe it's a little uncomfortable. There's so much that potential. Guess what? Everybody involved is human. All the things that are happening are okay. Caitlyn getting a hard time from... Now listen, if Beadle, if you're right, if there's like an issue with her and teammates, that's another thing that we'll have to explore as time goes on.
We won't know.
But if Caitlyn Clark's supposed to be the player that she's going to be, this was supposed to happen and she's supposed to get through it and thrive.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen it before, man. She is not the first athlete to get beat up and maybe resented a little bit and tested by her cohorts in the league. To me, relax. It's all a double standard because it's women.
I know. I woke up and was like, what are we doing? They're professionals. This is part of the deal. We don't do this for the men. No, like we crushed Draymond Green for being doing all the things he's done. But I didn't feel the need to run out there and be like, God, poor Jordan Poole, they're bullying him. Like that's not what.
That's a great point. And Jordan Poole literally got bullied and punched in the face.
Got punched in the face,
like by a teammate. So, and no one felt the need to do that. And also, quick note to my colleagues, like maybe some of the men like who haven't paid attention at all to this league can leave the big thoughts about it and think pieces to the people who have been covering. Because like besides, and I'm sure there are others, but the only one that comes to mind, besides Ryan Rucco, like I don't know how many men have been really deeply involved in covering this league. I'm sure there have been others, but maybe like, I know we don't do this well, guys. Maybe we take a step back and let the people who know the league a little bit lead without being like, something's hot. We have to immediately give our think pieces because we don't really know what we're talking about.
Or we just let Monica McNutt take care of all of it. I love
I mean, just let her.
She crushes everybody.
She crushed. She really did.
Such a sunshine in this business. All right, up next, after 41 seasons and 8,000 episodes, Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak's final episode airs this week. Ryan Seacrest is set to replace him, but it does not seem like Vanna White is quite ready to hang him up. Hang him up or put her hands away? I don't even know how you would refer to her retirement, quite frankly. Do we want to continue talking about Caitlyn Clark and the craziness that just was, or switch to Pat Sajak?
I can't in good conscience. With this show that we care about so deeply, a format that we take very seriously, I cannot pretend that in our world, Wheel of Fortune's a bigger deal than the Caitlyn Clark of it all.
We can't do it.
And by the way, I just was never into like Wheel of Fortune. I mean,
it's the dumber of the two. It's the dumb show. So you could actually think about being on that one. Yeah.
Right. It's Jeopardy for the dumb.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I can crush Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. That's like the only thing that would be lower on the totem pole intellectually than Wheel of Fortune is like a coloring book game show. Yeah. Like, can you color between the lines? Like this is not high-end stuff. And this is over the top, for God's sake. It's Beadle and Rosenberg. We do serious stuff.
We are highbrow, if nothing else. By the way, I will say this. I'm 48, and he's been doing that job for 41 years. Like, that is impressive. That's a good amount of money that's been made. Well done, sir. Over the top you go, Sajak. Go, take Vanna with you. No, I'm just kidding, Vanna. Take your time. Take your time. They underpaid you in the first place. We know that. She won life, did she not? My God. Imagine the casting call for that gig 1,000 years ago. Still going. Millions of dollars. Although she was underpaid, you've heard those stories. Yeah, of course she was. But I've had boobs my whole life, Peter. I understand she was underpaid. Thank you for pointing it out. But at the same time, the pay that she got for flipping the letters was solid. I'm sure still solid. And I did see her fill in for him when he was gone after a surgery. She wasn't great at it, but that's okay. See, that's why you love Beadle. That's okay. Because yes, she's a feminist, and yes, she will stand up for women, but she will also keep it real and tell you. Thank you. She was not good when she filled in for Sajak. Yeah, it wasn't great. Now, does that mean Ryan Seacrest is going to be more? No, it does not. I'm not saying that. No, listen, I'm just so happy that Seacrest is finally going to get a chance. Now, Beadle and I are two overworked, overexposed media personalities. There's no question about that. Ryan Seacrest, if he hears this, he'll end up hosting this show too. Oh, I know. I'm surprised. I thought we had a break from him, or at least I did, because he wasn't anywhere in the world that I consume. So I didn't realize that. Oh no, he's still going hard. He's like the J-Lo of television hosts. Wait, didn't we say we weren't going to talk about? Let's keep going. Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn Clark. You're right. Back to Caitlyn Clark. So Caitlyn Clark only has 2 wins this season. Yeah. She is certainly struggling, as some people predicted she would, including Diana Taurasi. But this is what I expected. This is, to be honest, it's a fantastic storyline. Yep. I am a little surprised. I sort of thought people were making up the Angel Reese feud a bit. Now it's feeling like there's something there, no? Of course there's something there. Angel Reese is a fabulous basketball player who has been, for the last 2 years, sort of pit against Caitlyn Clark. This is your rival, your arch nemesis. And there's egos involved. Again, just because we're women doesn't mean we don't have hella egos as well. And if you're going to sit there and tell me, I think I'm the best player, and you keep telling me that this chick is the best player, you're going to piss me off. And that's what we're seeing. And now they're pros and they're making money and things are happening. And it's going to be great for the league for years and years to come. You got Angel Reese out there telling everybody, we're not just watching WNBA for one person, we're also watching it for her. Like, the egos are there, man. And that's why we love professional sports. Like, this is what I want from all my sports, men and women.
No, I hear you, Beadle. But I think when the ladies play sports, they should just all be friendly. Maybe maybe cook together or knit after the game ends. Do you know
like
what I
they
mean?
bring cookies, like they bake cookies for the other team, like when you're hosting.
Yeah.
I love this for them.
They should be friends. Listen, they're both off to a pretty good start and also a not great start. Kind of what you expected, but they're right on the exact same trajectory. All right? You know what that means, Beadle?
Yes.
Do you have any idea?
Yes. Say it.
Why are you going full Marv Albert?
Yes. Say it.
Yes.
Also a pug person, by the way. Little known.
Is that true?
Yep. Has pugs.
Wow. You and Marv have always shared interests. That's 90 seconds, which means we've come to a decision. The new, undisputed, most important thing on planet Earth this week is Caitlyn Clark and the backlash that surrounds her. Escalating. I have a hunch we'll be talking about this all summer long, baby.
Yeah, that's not going to be the last Caitlyn Clark episode that we're going to have. Well done. Well done, sir.
Do you think that we got it right? Do you?
Yeah, 100. It was that or Pat freaking Sajak. What do you think?
I think we nailed it. That's it for us. Tune in next week to determine the only thing you need to care about and what goes over the top. God, I'm so glad that it turned out well for Marley and Hooch.
They're probably still alive.